let's look at the Fibonacci sequence and how we can create a program in Java to generate the Fibonacci sequence up to a certain element. So the Fibonacci sequence is a sequence of numbers 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and what's the next number? Well, if you didn't notice the pattern, we're taking the previous two numbers and adding them together. So next is 5 plus 8 is 13, 8 plus 13 is 21, and so on, and it continues forever. This is a very famous sequence because it shows up in nature, and it also shows up in the golden ratio. The golden ratio is something like this snail here. It's 1.61803 and so on, and there are many examples in nature where ratios of lengths to widths of rectangles with a curve going through it seem to show up a lot in the shape of a hurricane, an egg, flowers. And here's an example with a keyboard. The numbers are here. I don't see 1 and 1. Not sure if that's the best example, but definitely we see it appearing in nature. So notice here we have the numbers 1, 1, 2, 3, because the lengths of the sides are being added together. 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 3, 8, and so on. And if we create a curve through these, okay, my curve is a little bit too linear, but you get the idea. This shape occurs, this spiral shape occurs in nature a lot. And if you take numbers in the Fibonacci sequence as they get greater and greater, as you take one term and you divide it by the previous term, they start to approximate the golden ratio, 1.618, and so on. We also see this ratio appearing in ancient architecture like the Parthenon and famous works of art like the Mona Lisa. So we can create a formula to generate the Fibonacci sequence. We've said it a couple times, and we were saying that we get a new term, Tn, by taking the last two terms, Tn minus 1, plus Tn minus 2. And that's it. That's the recursive formula for the Fibonacci sequence. So I should be able to get the next number. So right now we have... Now we're going to do, in computer science, we're going to start off with the first term being t0. A lot of times in computer science we start at 0, so it matches up, but often in math we start at t1. So just want to explain what we're doing here. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now we can find t8 if we have t8 minus 1, t7, plus t8 minus 2, t6. So because we have t6 and t7, we're able to calculate t8. If we only had this recursive formula and nothing else, we would not be able to generate new numbers if we didn't have previous numbers in the sequence. We basically need to have two starting terms so that we can get the next one. So we need t0, which is 1, and t1, which is also 1. We call this the base case. And once we have the base case, we are able to generate the next values.